Good morning. Today we'll be looking into understanding the process of NAC. I know all of you who are going through this course are into the initial years. So far, you have definitely understood that NAC is an important process. Maybe some of you have seen it happening. Maybe you have assisted someone in the process of NAC. Maybe you are a member of internal quality assurance cell. Maybe you are assisting somebody in IQAC. But NAC is a very important process. Primarily because NAC decides the quality of higher education, and therefore let's look into this process called as NAC. NAC works under the guidelines of UGC. NAC works for the quality in higher education. NAC is governed by University Grants Commission. University Grants Commission is the senior most body in education. It takes care of 90% of education. It, along with some other statutory regulatory authorities, commonly called as the SRAs. For example, the Medical Council of India for MBBS, or the Nursing Council, and some such kind of councils. They take care of most higher education in India. When we talk of NAC, we need to know what is the full form of NAC. The full form of NAC is National Assessment and Accreditation Council. Assessment comes first. Assessment is to check, to act, to judge, to decide the amount, value, quality or importance of something. This is how Cambridge Dictionary describes it. When we talk of accreditation, according to Cambridge Dictionary meaning, it is a fact of being officially recognized, accepted or approved by the community. And C stands for council. So, National Assessment and Accreditation Council is what NAC is. Now, why go for NAC? This is the next question that comes in. Life is so nice without getting assessed. NAC needs an assess. NAC is necessary primarily because the institution knows its strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats that it has through a very systematic review process that is done by NAC. Second, it helps internal resource planning. It helps allocation of resources in a better way. It helps on the collegiality on the campus, that is the relationship between the colleges improves. Whenever the organization goes for some kind of funding at that time, whether the college is approved by NAC is counted out. It also helps in improvising on the teaching methodology, that is teaching pedagogy. When we talk of adult teaching and learning, it is andragogy. Some other benefits that you are able to see over here happen to be, it assures a guarantee of good programs and courses. Primarily because before it goes for assessment, it just checks out whether the college is an Aisha college or not. We'll be looking into what an Aisha college is in a short while. The assurance of the student he is learning from an authorized institution is also verified. There are many fake institutions who are not registered. So this gets cut down if the organization has a grade. Then you are able to see it helps in getting funds. It also helps in getting recognition to new courses, into new appointments, and it is needed for the growth of the organization. It gives a new sense of direction and identity to the institutions. The society trusts the brand called NAC, and therefore they trust the organization. Employers look for reliable information on quality of education offered by the prospective recruits for the prospective recruits, and therefore you are able to see NAC really counts out. Now, when we talk about the accreditation process, then in that case, what are the criteria for eligibility of the NAC? Which organization can go for the process of NAC? These criteria have been given in details on the NAC guide, on the NAC website. I request you to go through that website in details. We will be taking an overview to give a gross idea of what the parameters are. Higher educational institutions, commonly called as HEI, must be at least 7 years old for going for the first process of NAC. This first process of NAC is called as the cycle or the first cycle of NAC. After completion of 3 years, we are able to see that the first batch of students passes out. That would mean that after 5 to 6 years, the organization is ready, can go for the first process of NAC. But to go for the process of NAC, ideally the organization should start working right from the first day. And therefore, we will be able to get all those quality processes into the organization. As I have already made a mention, the universities approved by UGC or by the statutory regulatory bodies, that is authorities, SRA, example Medical Council of India or Indian Nursing Council, etc., they are the ones whose colleges will be assessed by NAC. Once the first cycle is completed, then starts the second cycle, then the third. And after the first cycle is completed, NAC promotes appointment of a body which is called as Internal Quality Assurance Cell or IQAC. IQAC becomes functional after the first cycle, though it is expected that it should work right from the first cycle. What NAC does not cater to? NAC does not cater to offshore campuses. Second, NAC does not cater to non-Aishi colleges. All institutions intending to apply for NAC, they must upload their information on All India Survey on Higher Education, that is AISHE portal. The college gets a code for the AISHE portal, that is called as Aishi code. Only Aishi colleges are allowed to go for NAC. Then let us look into what is the process for the accreditation. These are the steps that our organization has to follow for accreditation and assessment. Number one is registering. The organization must register with NAC saying that we are interested for going for the process of assessment and accreditation. Keep in mind, constantly I am saying assessment and accreditation. Assessment comes first, only after then accreditation comes out. It is like examinations first and results later on. So it is not results first and examination later on. Therefore, it is going to be National Assessment and Accreditation Council. Then we go to the next aspect. Once the organization has registered, then NAC says that okay, if you are registered and you wish to go for the process of NAC, you need to send something called as Institutional Information on Quality Assessment, that is IQA, Institutional Information on Quality Assessment. It will be having some very basic information, like whether you have your website or not, whether all the necessary data is included on the website or not, whether the organization complies to something called as no ragging on the campuses, what are the other things that the organization has. A few things are asked by NAC, which is the first step just to qualify that whether that organization can go for the process of accreditation. There are colleges who do not comply to IIQA. They can then go for the next cycle within the next 6 months. And therefore, before we go for a NAC, we must first look at what are the basic things that NAC expects to go for even IIQA. Those must comply, then and then we can go for IIQA. Once the IIQA has been filled up and has been sent, which goes on the portal of NAC. So it would mean that the organization registers. Once it is registered, it gets a portal forever. Once the portal is available, it gets a form of IIQA. It fills up the form of IIQA. It sends the form of IIQA. The entire process is a technology-based process. It's an online process. Once this data is sent along with necessary proofs, NAC verifies it, and normally within 3 to 5 days, NAC sends you a reply that the organization can now go for the next step. So step 1 was registration, step 2 was IIQA filling, step 3 is now send your self-study report. Step 3 is SSR, self-study report. This self-study report must be prepared in advance before even sending IIQA. There are only 30 days available for completion of the report. The minute you apply for, the minute SSR starts and you open up the page, they tell you 30 days are available. The next day you find 29 days are available. 28, 27 till you come to 1. This is a reverse counting that you are able to see. All the data, question wise, parameter wise, needs to be uploaded over there. Now once you have filled up the SSR, that is self-study report, in the 30 days, you send that report online. Once it is sent online, you have completed. Once SSS has begun, we go to the next step, that is SSS gets completed within next 8 to 10 days. The college has to see to it that the organization, the students reply the messages in time. They expect 10% students of the sent forms to reply back. Once the process of SSS is completed, in the meanwhile, the SSR is being checked. Some queries arise. We have provided the material, the content, and along with it we have given the proofs. But sometimes they feel that some more proofs are needed to validate what we are saying. Sometimes the data that you have fed and the document that you are supplying, there can be a change in it. For example, you have conducted an activity where you make a mention of in 2018-19, for this particular cleanliness activity, 296 students were present. The document that you have provided with it, the list of students, it has 294 students. A query arises whether it was 294 or 296. You will have to justify it that it is 296, or you will have to accept the fact that it is 294 and kindly treat it as 294. All these queries, once they have been answered out, then in that case, the next step starts, and that happens to be the further communication is peer team visit. A peer team of 3 teachers comes to the organization. The dates are finalized, and after those dates are finalized, the peer team visit normally has one vice chancellor or one retired vice chancellor and 2 very senior teachers who know the process very well. They assess the organization for the next 2 days. They prepare a report. They talk with the principal about the report. They give a brief idea about the report that has been generated out. They take the signature of the principal on the report, and after that has been completed, they go back. This completes the process, and in the next few days, you are able to see the the result comes out. That marks the completion of the cycle for that particular college. The result is given in the form of a grade. The peer team visit provides the data, the peer team visit provides some kind of suggestions. These suggestions are to be complied with in the next 5 years, to see to it that the organization keeps on prospering ahead, keeps on going ahead. The report that is sent by the NAC to the organization, the report is about the report is about the IIQA that was filed, that is sent back. Then the SSR, copy of SSR that was sent to NAC. The grade sheet that comes in, which tells us about how many scores have been earned for every question. Then you are able to see one more aspect, which happens to be the peer team visit report and overall assessment score sheet that NAC has provided. It is this way we are able to see the process of NAC takes place. When this process of NAC takes place, you are able to see that it's a long process. The entire process completes in a duration of something like 3.5 to 4 months. There are a good number of templates that have to be filled up. During this process, fees are to be paid. The payment of the fees is done at specific times. For example, when the college goes for IIQA, it has to pay a particular amount of fee. When the college goes for SSR, the first installment of fees has to be paid. Then you are able to see a good number of processes take place, and after these processes have been completed, before the peer team visit comes, the third installment is to be paid. On an average, the total amount of fee to be paid is around 5 lakh rupees. Exact details are available on the NAC website. Besides it, if the organization that has been assessed is not happy, then in that case they can go again and re-appeal against the decision, for which again some fee has to be paid out. This entire process is a tedious process. It involves the entire involvement of the organization. You are able to see in this process the college is assessed on 7 indicators. These 7 indicators happen to be, they are called as the criteria. These 7 criteria are curricular aspects, teaching, learning and evaluation, research, innovation and extensions, infrastructure and learning resources, student progression and student support, governance, leadership and management, institutional values and best practices. The total amount of score for this is 1000. Each criteria wise the number score changes. Then you are able to see when the NAC assesses, it assesses on a CGPA 4-point scale, that is 0 to 4, that makes it 5 points. The grade of the organization is based on CGPA or cumulative grade point average. Once the grading has been done, NAC grades the organizations between A++ to D. 3.5.1 to 4 is A++, 3.2.6 to 3.50 is A+, 3.01 to 3.25 is A, 2.76 to 3 is B++, 2.51 to 2.75 is B+, 2.01 to 2.05 is B, 1.51 to 2 is C, less than that is D, it's not accredited status. This entire grading methodology is followed by the final result that I have made a mention. Recommendations given are to be completed in the next 5 years, after which every year the college starts sending an annual quality report. This is called as the AQAR, and in this way you are able to see the process completes. There are 2 things that I wish to make a mention. The SSR that is sent has 2 types of questions. One is called as the qualitative metric, which is written down in a few words, 500, 100, 200 words as it is told. These are qualitative metrics. These will be assessed by the peer team visit. But most metrics, that is 70% of metrics, happen to be quantitative metrics. That is, they are something like number, and how many students are present, how many teachers are present, what is the ratio of teacher to students, how many PADs are present. All this comes into numbers. So this quantitative data is termed as a quantitative metric. You are able to see these quantitative and qualitative metrics make up the report. To end up, the end result is a certification by the NAC which tells you about the grade of the organization, and the future steps get laid out for the organization. NAC is a very important process. We cannot avoid this process and we need to gear up with it. It's a good sign that in your initial years you are able to understand the importance of NAC.